Sometimes you have to bring a lot of space between you and some concept you want to tackle. So let's do that before anyone can start name calling again and go to a completely different planet. And you see, this planet is clearly completely different. It's absolutely alien. The sky is purple. And by the way, the species we are talking about, it's a species of clones. We might come to them back later when we discuss diversity. There is no biological things between them. They have the same color of skin, they have the same sex, they have everything the same, but they have still different cultures. So, this is Carl, and Carl lives in Sandland, and he is a wasp keeper. And this is not something that is absolutely normal for this world, and this world is also not called Earth, of course. It's called Stone. So on Stone, wasp keeping is a very prominent thing in a certain area of this world, and for very, very strange reasons, it's a poorer part of the world. But met with a bit of, let's say, skeptics on other parts of the world, because mostly, well, they didn't make something useful, and nothing the wasp produces is of any significant value. You can't eat the honey, you can't use them for anything else. Well, in fact, keeping wasps takes also a lot of time. You have to care for them in the evening, in the night, in the morning, midday, and afternoon. And I mean, not that a wasp would need it. I mean, they are wasps. They can do perfectly fine without their keepers. They existed long before this species, but the keepers see it as their holy work to keep the wasps on, to fight for the wasps, which means that they want more people to become wasp keepers. So they have also a book that tells them what to do. And this book says very clearly that you are a wasp keeper if you, surprise, surprise, keep wasps and you care for them each day, in the night, in the evening, in the morning, and so on. And it says also a lot how to behave as a right wasp keeper. Most of these things have absolutely nothing to do with wasps, but it says how they have to do stuff, like how they have to wipe their butts. And, of course, there's one important part: they don't have to eat ever peanut butter. And kill, of course, anyone who dares to eat peanut butter, because eating peanut butter offends the wasps. By the way, this book was of course written not by mere mortals, it was written by wasps. So the infinite knowledge of the wasps are united in this book, and this book states that there will never ever come an update, because the book, you see, is perfect and contains all there is to know ever. And Carl is a very happy wasp keeper and follow the rule to the letter, including the part of killing the peanut butter consumers, of course. And since they are the majority in their land, they can do that without getting punished for murdering people for obviously silly reasons. Well, you see, this is Klaus. Klaus is also a wasp keeper, but he's in another land where he can't kill these dirty peanut butter eaters. He hates them and he wants to kill them, but his book says he has to wait. Because as long as they are a minority, they have to tell anyone that wasps are really cool and nice and would never hurt anybody, and that keeping them really, really enriches one and gives you purpose. He himself, of course, keeps wasps, but would never ever kill someone who eats peanut butter. Oh no, 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 he tells that everyone every day. I would never do that. The book of wasps called this Takia, which has nothing to do with the word Takia on our planet. You see, Takia is something completely different. You see, the principle says that lying is okay, especially for non-wasp keepers, if it serves the purpose of infiltrating the society, increasing their own numbers, and take power and then over. Klaus therefore waits with a smile on his face to start killing these dirty peanut butter suckers. And this is Stefan. You see, Stefan was born a wasp keeper because his father was a wasp keeper. You could really believe that he and Klaus are very much alike because they wear similar things and so on, but they are really not. I mean, both never read the Wasp book. I mean, it's a sick book after all, and who has the time? But Stefan does not really care for the teachings. He's okay with the wasps and he's okay with wasp keeping, but he himself don't want to do that, especially not the killing part. Ugh. But he believes that everybody should care for his own crap and should do whatever he pleases. And he's a really nice guy. A lot of people like him because he's a really nice guy and would never ever hurt someone. And contrary to Klaus, he don't think about hurting someone. You see, Stefan also thinks that Klaus is also a nice guy. But Klaus and Karl think Stefan will hang with the other peanut butter crowd because Klaus saw him eat peanut butter. What a dirty traitor. He will comply or he will die. And this is Peter. You see, Peter thinks that all people are really nice because he never met someone who wasn't nice, and he likes really everyone. Klaus and Karl laugh about him for being a peanut butter eating pig who will hang very soon. And this here is Otto. You see, Otto is one of these guys who read the Book of the Wasps. And of course, yeah, this is one thing. The Book of Wasp is only right in Sand language, you see. If you translate it to every other language, it's not right anymore. Which is kind of confusing for Otto. But anyway, he read this translated book and he's not very happy about having this culture now in Grassland who wasn't there 100 years ago. Because, you see, he have eyes and can see, and he did take a look to Sandland and see what the fuck is going on then. He respects the tradition of Sandland, of course, and he would never ever say that they have to change something. He just says, do it, but do it there. Or if you want to come over, it's okay, but leave this wasp keeping stuff at home. And Peter strongly disagrees. I mean, he never read the Book of Wasps, of course, or he never had a really good look to Sandland, of course, but he knows Stefan, and Stefan is a cool dude, and Otto should go and slap himself, because don't you know Stefan? Stefan is such a nice guy, Stefan is so cool, and every of these guys on the whole planet, they are surely like Stefan, because Stefan is a really cool guy. And by the way, the Sandlanders will one day become Grassland, you will see, because they will adapt and they will improve and they will of course stopping to keep wasps and stop killing people one day, Peter tells us every day. And when Otto finds out that he didn't think that will happen and didn't think that this must happen because wasp keeping could stay wasp keeping and Sandland can stay Sandlands, no problem. But he just wants them not here, but he respects their culture and points out that in some way Peter does not. This is normally the point where Peter starts shouting insults. And this over here, that's Victor. Victor is the king of Grassland. Grassland is the home of these peanut butter eaters. And he hates them because they tend to revolt against the crown and against his rule. And this is really unheard of and quite uncomfortable. I mean, he sees Peter as a good servant. I mean, Peter does whatever he is told and he believes whatever he is told. But this Otto guy, this guy that reads books and thinks for himself, that's really a problem. I mean, if we get more of them, we might end up in a democracy. Oh, no. We have to do something against that. And he really likes the wasp keepers because he also gave the Sandland a good start. And the king of Sandland, well, he does remarkably well. You see, the wasp keepers, they care for the wasps, but they don't care if they live in dirt. They don't care all too much for music, for art, for money, for wealth in general, health, life expectancy, child mortality, and who rules them, as long as the ruler keeps wasps and taxes peanut butter very highly. And that's the reason Victor forces now a lot of wasp keepers into the nation, because, well, they are easy to rule. Well, at some point, the killing started. And Otto, well, died first. Peter soon after that, and it took not very long that they also got rid of Victor. And Victor was the one who was really confused about that happening, because it was such a good plan after all. Stefan is another story. You see, Stefan didn't want it to die, but he doesn't like this wasp stuffs, and he despised the killing, and he was really sad. But what should he do? Well, he then started to keep also wasps and be one of them. He hated it, and he missed his friends, and he missed the music, and he missed the technology, and he missed the freedom. But well, what should you do? So another land has fallen under the wasp keepers. Too bad that there are different kind of wasps on the world, and the book did not specify who was right. So the bloodshed did not stop there. Which is of course not a failure of the book, no. I mean, they started to kill each other, but at the same time, the same story started over in another land. You see, at some point, the whole world will then consist out of wasp keepers. There is then no industry, no art, no music, no fun, no freedom, no good sex, no spacecrafts, no science, only the buzzing of the wasps and the never-ending battle about the one true kind of wasps. You see, the planet had a really rare chance to produce a species able to fly to the stars, but this species degenerated to a horde of wasp keepers killing themselves for the second most silly reason in the universe. What a luck, it's just a story about a very dumb species that did put wasps over their own. What a silly, what a stupid, what a disgusting species.